I just saw you serve for the U.S. Marines. How was your experience? Um, I'm proud to have served my country. It was my privilege and it was my honor to serve in the United States military and especially within the United States Marine Corps for my country. At the time of my service, right, it was under the first administration of Donald Trump, but Trump didn't know how to be president and he wasn't very aware or attentive of all of the actual problems plaguing our country at the time because Trump thought in his head that becoming president, he would actually have authority and people in our country would respect him for being the president who won the election and allow him to fix problems. But instead of him actually experiencing that in his first administration, the entire Democrat Party and all of the leftists in my country did everything in their power to subvert his presidency, undermine his presidency, and obstruct his presidency. Yeah, well, I did vote for Trump, right? But this is something that we learned after the fact, right? Nobody ever knows how to actually be president until they've been president, right? Like you can't know how to fucking be the president unless you have been the president. But he had a common sense understanding that because he grew up in the same country I grew up in, right? Where we believed that even if you lost the Democratic vote to pick whoever was president, right? Like I wasn't old enough to vote for Obama, but my family didn't. Overwhelmingly, my family did not vote for Obama. But Obama became president. No one in my family did everything in their power to try to subvert the Obama administrations or protest against him or try to stop him from doing shit or anything like that because they respected him as our president. Did they like him? No. But they respected him as our president, right? And that allowed Obama to actually achieve more in his presidency than Trump did. Because half of my country decided to do everything in their power to prevent Trump from being the president. Is it like you choose him because there was no other powerful candidate? No, I chose Trump because I think Trump has a mentality that's better for America than everyone else. But I would argue that anytime anyone votes for somebody, it's because they're choosing who is the in their head who is the better candidate. Um, the judges are off their rockers. They really are, and we're gonna get into some articles about that today, Timothy. But so back to my experience in the Marine Corps. Um, the Marine Corps and the United States military had been in a state of decline since Obama's first administration, and Trump started to fix things in the United States military in his first administration, right? I remember sitting there in the chow hall when I was becoming a Marine security guard, and on the news was CNN talking about how Trump is dropping the fucking mother of all bombs on ISIS in the Middle East, right? And all the Marines are like, "Yeah, fuck yeah!" Right? Like we're up because that's just Marine culture, right? We love war. We love war, right? And not that we think war is a great thing, but we have a warrior culture, right? And so we love war. That is our profession. That is who we are, right? So Trump was fixing things, but there was a lot of other bullshit in the Marine Corps when I was in the Marine Corps. So I part of me regrets my service because of a bunch of woke indoctrination and like libtard fucking ideology in the Marine Corps at the time when I was in. But I will never regret serving my country. You said honestly in India I'd choose Modi because he is not great but better than others. That's being enthusiastic and a patriot. Yeah, and you're right, and that's why a lot of people choose people, right? I do think there's like no president is perfect, right? No US president is perfect. No world leader is perfect in any capacity whatsoever. No one can be perfect, right? So you always choose who you just think is better. Um, Now my thoughts on Putin, I don't care. I have no thoughts on Putin. I question the integrity of elections in Russia, but if the elections are legitimate in Russia and they want Putin, then hey man, that's their fucking choice. Now, I disagree with communism. I disagree with socialism, right? I think the United States and the West has collectively ostracized Russia for too long when we have more in common with Russia than we do like China or some shit like that, right? So in my head, I think after the Cold War, we should have done more to actually bring the collapsed Soviet Union, which was, Russia at the time, bring them into the Western fold of liberal ideology with like capitalism and like democracy and stuff like that. Because I think we have a lot more in common with them than what we were all taught to think that we have. Um, and I don't actually see ideologically. I don't think we're as opposed to one another as people make it out to be. But I do hate socialism and communism. But even Russia today isn't really a communist country because communism collapsed their country. So now they have a weird mixed economy, but they do have a lot of communist aspects, and I wish they would get rid of those. And I would love to bring them into the West. There's no country with 100% democracy. You're right, because 100% democracy isn't good. It's retarded. Um, so those are my thoughts on Putin. Um, as I don't care what the country on planet Earth is or who their leader is, as long as they have hateful sentiment towards my country and my people, and if they ever wish harm against my country or my people, then I will be opposed to them in every single capacity. If you want to destroy my country and you want to kill my people in any way, then I want to kill your people and destroy your country. That's my thought process. If you don't want to destroy my country and you don't want to kill my people, we're cool.
With the beat of the drum and the fife so high, we march with courage under the sky. Banners wave and hearts on fire. In the name of freedom we aspire. Through valleys green and mountains gray,